Over the past 5 years or so, I've thought without a shadow of a doubt that I knew exactly what I was put on this earth to do based on a series of events that happened to me when I was around 25 years old. And I'll dive deep into what that is in a minute here. But the main point of this video, the reason why I'm shooting it in the first place, I was just taking a walk just now and I started thinking to myself about like just different things of what's possibly holding me back from greatness at this moment in time in my life because there's no reason why I should be where I'm at. I have all the ability in the world to live a huge life and to be completely happy because of it, and not even that. I know that you can be happy poor, you can be happy fucking rich, whatever. It's not about that. It's about doing something significant for me. It's not even about the money. I just feel like I could be doing way more than what I'm doing now. And long story short, I started thinking, again about things that are holding me back. And I think that I have become a prisoner of my purpose, or of what I thought was my purpose. I'm only 31 years old. A lot of people don't find their purpose until they're 40. Granted, most people don't start doing business until they're 25, 30 years old, right? Whereas I started doing stuff online when I was 12 years old, basically an entrepreneur at that point, and I've been dedicated to this life ever since. And so this is 19 years, going on 20 years of this stuff, and going through my entrepreneurial journey, so to speak. So maybe I am far enough along to have actually found my purpose. However, I just started thinking to myself, and this is the main question that came to mind, is what if I don't? What if I fucking don't? What if I have no clue what my purpose is? Or I have all the clues in the world and I just haven't put the clues together the right way? Because the thing that I can see, and I know from reading about many, many successful people, is that typically when they find their true purpose on this earth, they're able to give it 150% every single day from there on out. They have something to wake up for. Whereas me, I just recently haven't been waking up and attacking the day like I used to, especially when this purpose first came to me and it was fresh and it was something that I really, truly, truly believed in. I still believe in it. I'm not going to say I don't. I'm just, you know, kind of playing with this question of what if I don't? And the reality is a lot of the answers that are coming on the other side of that question are freeing. They're I feel like freedom is on the other side of this question for the simple fact that like that also means like what if I don't? What does that really mean, right? It means that there's more to learn. There's more to experience. There's more puzzle pieces out there for me to put together. There's a whole new purpose for me to fucking be revealed, and for me to find and go after, which is exciting in and of itself, right? Like, what if there's another thing out there that I'm meant to do that's even bigger and better and more heartfelt for me than what I already believe is my purpose, right? And I understand that my purpose is going to start small and expand over time, or maybe, you know, maybe not. I don't know, but I know that there's evolution to it, right? No matter what, even if it stays the same size, it's going to evolve as you could find it and go through it. And maybe that's what this is too. I just know that, the big thing is another answer to what if I don't know what it is just acting that way. Like, just play it like I don't know it so that every day I'm not completely pressured and imprisoned by that purpose of only going after things that align with that purpose, because maybe I'm missing out or squandering opportunities of things that, you know, are coming to me that just don't line up with that opportunity, right? Or with that purpose. And so there's just a lot of options when you ask that question. What if I don't know? You know, you think you know everything. I think I thought I knew everything. I was cockiest motherfucker in the world about my dream and my purpose. Oh, stuck my claim in that bitch. But to be even uncertain in any way, to be thinking, what if I don't know? That is how I know that I don't know. And that's the reality. Like, I also know that I don't know because I'm not excited by it every single fucking day. And, maybe that's because I need to break it down into bite sized pieces as well, as far as actual short term purpose. Because again, I was locked in on the long term purpose. And just to go into that at this point, because I'm sure people are like, what the hell is your purpose even? First off, these videos are for me. I I will look back on this and understand what's going on. But I also want to help people that are eventually going through the same thought process, right? Um, that's what I'm hoping these videos will be. But anyway, my purpose and the way, I guess I have to give full background on just how things went, or what led up to this, at least, what led up to finding my purpose. So, I started making money online at 12 years old when people first muttered the words make money online on this earth. I tried and tried and tried all kinds of different things, eventually made money at 16 years old and got banned from PayPal for trading 60-second binary options in Forex. Eventually, made millions of dollars at 21 and lost it all by partying. I bought a mansion in my hometown, threw parties there all the time, blow, strippers, gambling, drinking, everything. All of the things that a young man with money would do, I did to the fullest. And I don't really regret doing any of that because I experienced it at a young age. Whereas there were plenty of rich people in the club that were 40 years old, fucking weirdos with wives at home, and it's like, at least I'm not going to do that. I don't need to. I already experienced it, right? But it fucked me up, to say the least, to make a few $1 million in cash in hand and go through all that in just a year and a half, 2 years of time, and then be at nothing basically, and have to start all over. It hurt. It hurt a lot, to the point where I went even deeper into the drugs at that point, and went just was real bad. I was a real bad boy when it came to drugs and alcohol. And eventually, when I was 25 years old, I basically subconsciously decided to end it and took 30 Xanny bars at least, all at once, down the chute. The thing that I remember most is that it was so much I almost choked on it, and fucking it's just disgusting when it starts turning into liquid in your mouth. It's anyway. As soon as I did that, I had a stash of blow, about a quarter, and did that whole shit in an hour. So imagine that, if you know anything about these two things, as far as Xanny bars and blow. I went fucking nuts. Insano. But I also should have been unalived. I absolutely should have been. And I should have had seizures. I should have had all kinds of different things from doing that. But I didn't, because as soon as I did that, I consciously understood what I did to myself, and consciously decided that I wanted to live, and fought back against it so hard that it was just a hell of a time. Like, it was literally hell on earth. But the only reason why I made it through is because I used the power of positive thinking throughout it. The stuff that I had learned from Tony Robbins, as much as people want to talk trash on Tony Robbins, that man saved my fucking life. Literally. I saved my own life by fighting through it. But anyway, that is a defining moment of my life. Obviously, I never want to go back there. I never want to do that stuff again. And then, what I guess to finish that story is, I was living at my parents' house when this all happened, and I was going crazy for 5 days, literally detoxing from this stuff. I took a fucking box of detox pills during this time, trying to get this stuff out of my system. But then after 5 days, I was just so crazy. My parents had to put me in the loony bin. I went to the loony bin for 5 days. And when I got to the loony bin, I remember the lady saying, like, you took something right before you came in here. You took these drugs right before you came in, because the levels were still so high that 5 days later, it was in there so high that they thought that I just did it right before I came in, but I absolutely didn't. I didn't do any since that time that I took 30 and did all that shit all at once. It was literally all that and 5 days off, detox drugs. Anyway, I say that to emphasize how crazy it was. Long story short, go to the loony bin, go in there 5 days, fucking just, I was crazy, deserved to be in there. And when I came out, I went to start an agency, and I started cold calling people. This was literally, I'm talking 3 to 5 days out of the loony bin. I'm back on it, trying to get my life together, trying to get shit going. And I make some cold calls, and I run across this one guy that literally, he told me that he was getting his leads sold back to him by the marketing agency he was working with, and I got curious as to what he meant by that. He knew that he was getting scammed, but he didn't know exactly how, right? And so I looked into it, and essentially this company was just putting, they would robocall across the US pretending to be Google representatives, saying that they would delete your Google My Business listing if you didn't answer their phone calls, type thing. And then when they actually got you on the phone, they would get you on the phone with a sales rep that would pitch you first page rankings on Google for like $500 a month, and they would drop the price all the way to $50 a month until the person would buy. So people were paying anywhere from $50 a month to $500 a month for this first page ranking service that they never actually provided. So what they would do is put a tracking number. They would take control of people's Google My Business listings, put a tracking number on there, and then they would also put a website on the Google My Business listing that had a tracking number. They would overlay other people's like main websites, fuck up their SEO, all kinds of stuff, and they didn't, absolutely did not provide SEO services or bring them any traffic. They literally just made it look like all the traffic that was coming through the Google My Business listing was coming through them and their work, through their tracking number, right? But those people would have gotten those leads anyway if they didn't had never even answered the call. So um, I found out about that, and I went after it. I literally, I scraped all the websites I could find that they were all a template website. They were all on the same hosting servers and stuff like that, to the point where I ended up finding 50,000 of these different websites across 3 different companies. And basically, this company just got sued by Google and the FTC, and a different company moved down the street, started 3 companies, and did it all over again. And then I found it. And so I called and emailed all 50,000 of these people that I had contact info for, and I heard thousands of horror stories. I have recordings of people crying on the phone to me about how they spent their last $500 with these people, or last $5,000 with them over the last 10 months or what have you. And now, since they know that they're being scammed, they're being had, and they will never see that money again, that they basically are going to have to go out of business. And it just made me think about how many great, you know, dreams and ideas and businesses and great people are going in the gutter because of what these people were doing to them. And so I went after it, and I can't really go into too many details here because I don't want to get sued all over again. That's why I'm keeping it as vague as humanly possible. But I ended up getting sued into the Stone Age. My parents' house got levied by these people. I went to jail for a day over it, even though when I actually finally went in front of a judge, the judge basically said, I believe everything you're saying in this, because I put together like a 300-page answer to complaint with all my evidence. And the judge was basically like, I believe everything you're saying in here, but the fact is you're not a lawyer, you didn't submit it the right way, so I can't even take it into account in this courtroom, right? And it just showed me how, like, overall, it really just showed me how fucking stupid the world is, and how stupid it is that a kid, a 15-year-old kid, can be walking down the street with a bag of weed in his pocket and he gets arrested and put in jail. But then there's this $100 million a year scam company that gets exposed. I brought this shit to the FTC, the FBI, the Attorney General. The FTC specifically even said, like, these, you have these people red-handed. Google said the same thing because they it was obvious that it was the same company from before that they had already sued and just started 3 new companies. And still they didn't do nothing about it. These people are still operating to this day. And it blows my fucking mind that that's the case. It blew my mind back then. It made me want to fight that. And that's where my purpose came from. And after telling this story again, it's convincing to the point where, that's probably why I've become a prisoner of it, because it really is so damn convincing. It's a great purpose to go after. And the purpose is like, I want to fix the business legal system to prosecute to be able to prosecute people like this in business that scam the shit out of other business owners or consumers, and those people get put in jail the same way that like criminals that unalive people. You know what the fuck is wrong with the world when, again, these people have crushed thousands of people's dreams and businesses and ideas, and you know even if they did go to, like, even if the FTC and Google sued them again, they would just be sued. They would pay fines. They wouldn't go to jail. You know, maybe the second time they would go to jail because they're a recidivist offender or what have you, right? But for the most part, they would not be put in jail. And that blows my fucking mind. And it should blow your fucking mind as well. You know? And so that's where my purpose stemmed from. I went through that process for a year, going after that company, not making any money, and, just literally fighting this company, both in court and by calling their customers, and spending time with these people, educating them on how they got scammed, right? A year of my life goes by. I'm no further because of it, but I had believed that I found my reason for being on this earth, and it was, again, to fix the business legal system and really to fix the marketing and advertising game first. And so I started another agency called the Upside Geeks and started going after that mission and vision. It was even part of the mission, vision, and core values of that agency, right? And so, it was a great dream. It is a great dream. It's a great purpose. It was something that a lot of my people that I hired believed in, like sincerely believed in, and were fired up about, right? And so that's the journey that led up to that. And I think past that, another thing that came, like, both that first purpose and really I think my full life's purpose is to eventually be the salesperson or the deal maker that brings together lots and lots of rich people to put their money together and make significant world change, because there's enough money in this world to make change, right? But the fact is that the reason why it doesn't happen the way it should is because all of these rich people are uh, their own individual selves, their own individual team. They don't team up with other rich people for the most part. Obviously, there's stuff out there like the Giving Pledge or the whatever those rich people do, But like, I guess my main point is again, like, that purpose is great and all. It's a great purpose. It's a great dream to have. But what if it's not the one that's made for me? What if it's not? Because there's so many positive answers on the other side of that question. Because the main thing to think about is that if I think of that, if I think, what if I don't know, and I try to find something else over the next couple of years, right? If nothing else comes to me, then this was the dream, this was the purpose, this was the thing to go after. And I never lost it. I'm not going to lose it per se, but I can spend some time exploring and adventuring deeper into life before making the wholehearted decision of what I need to go after. Because right now, all I need to go after is full on financial freedom that can never be affected again. That's really the number one thing that I need for me to be able to even shoot for those stars, right? So I need to focus on simply building a foothold of finance, that I I can't even put a number on that per se that's definite other than 10 million would suffice. By that point, would never be able to fuck it up again because I've learned my lessons. Like anybody can fuck off 10 million, no doubt. I could fuck off 10 million very easily. Just spend more at the strip club every day, right? But the fact is that I just wouldn't do that again because I've gone through it. I've lived the life that I've lived. I've learned the lessons that I've learned from my mistakes in the past. That at this point, there's just no way that I would fuck off, a bunch of money again. I would treat it like the gold it is because it's not even about the money. It's about the stable fucking mind and to be at a point where you can think about other things, greater things than just money. Because money is the root of all evil, both having it and not having it, if you let it be that way. But if you use it as a way to completely calm your stress, anxiety, and depression, and all those different negative things that go around not having money or having too much of it, not knowing what to do with it, if you just use it as a vehicle to calm all those things, then you can really think clearly and do the things that you're meant to do. So this has been a rambling. This is again. I'm just journaling at this point. I had this thought. I thought that this would maybe be like a fucking 10-minute video, and it's like 25 minutes at this point. I hope that somewhere in the future that this is helpful to other people. It's been helpful to me to understand that what if I don't know? What if I just think of it that way and I'm okay with this purpose not being my exact purpose and I need to maybe hone in on something even better so that I can actually wake up in the morning and attack the day every single day without question. It's almost like that was what it was with this purpose for the first couple years, but the past few years it's been dwindling down and just kind of, you know, the fire under my ass isn't as strong. And I always again think to myself that maybe this is really just a vengeance purpose. It's not my real purpose because the only thing I really want to do is beat the cheaters that cheated me out of a year of my life, that, you know, won in court by doing the wrong thing. Like, I truly believe that I did the right thing at that point in my life, and I helped a lot of people. But, the Philly John side of me can't let a loss be a loss. I always have to get even, and that's probably why my mind was so driven towards that purpose. And if I release myself of vengeance or revenge or any of that kind of stuff, because it doesn't matter, it doesn't fucking matter. It's over, it's in the past. It's a part of my experience, it's a part of my journey, it's something that I learned from greatly. And maybe it's just a small piece of the much bigger puzzle that is my purpose. And that is worth thinking about and worth adventuring towards rather than being locked into this prison of my purpose. And I'll leave it at that. Until next time.